Good afternoon all, this is Darth Ravage07 coming to you with another quick review today. Targets are getting in new stuff right and left, so make sure to check your targets. I'm really especially happy to have this new Micro Galaxy Squadron find on the turntable. But before we do that, make sure to like, share, subscribe, all the stuff down in the description below there. Thank you again to all those who have subscribed. Help me get this thing over 1,000 here in the next little bit. Been at this for 3 years and just really want to have my channel start taking off and doing the stuff and things and having success here. But you gotta suck until you succeed. With that said, thanks again for watching. On the turntable today is none other than the N1 Starfighter, the Razor Crest upgrade that Mando receives in the Mandalorian show. And it comes with a little figurine, some different little action features. You can see Grogu sitting in his little bubble where R2 was back in the day, and Phantom Menace. And if you spin it around, you get the backside, those features that was said and talked about. You get the profile card. You can cut those out and collect and keep it if you want to. I might do that for a little bit. But other than that, once this gets open, it's going to be going into the garbage. The other thing that's really cool is they got some chase vehicles that you can get a hold of there. One's Wedge Antilles, and I forget maybe who this other person is here. Anyway, it may be Wedge, and anyway, there's that. But the TIE Bomber comes in the wave, so does the Y-Wing, and these guys are really hard to find. With that said, let's take and pause and scan here for other big box store, or actually Walmart or Target, because that's who carries it in brick and mortar. If you're looking in brick and mortar traditionally here in the US, there's that. Hopefully it'll help anybody that needs it. It is Series 4. I'm a little bit late to the game, like I said. I think they start coming out August 2022, and I didn't start collecting until this past January. And now I'm finally getting around to reviewing them. I couldn't think of a better one to jump off the deep end with than Mando here. Thanks again for watching. Let's get this guy cracked open and see all what comes inside this little blister bubble. Of particular note, before I crack this guy open, I can say it's such a joy to have something I can see before I buy it again. I can't wait for Hasbro to pick up its tip from Jazzwares. Thanks again for watching. Inside the blister bubble, you get the ship, you get the back end piece that didn't fit inside the box, you get a miniature little figure, and I love the presentation on these. The paintwork, the details is all really awesome. We'll do some measurements here in a minute, and it's usually like 4 points of articulation. It's usually the legs and the arms, and I can't remember if the head's actually articulated. I doubt it, but they're very highly detailed, highly painted. I love that they have the little Sergeant Slaughter on card. It's a card and it's plastic, and oh, you got some art on the back there. Just let you take a look at that. Boom, if it'll focus, there we go. Bam, there it is. So then there's that little thing. We're gonna set him off to the side. We got the stuff inside. It's got a little bit more stuff art-wise. We're gonna set this aside. You get a little thing on the bottom of the inside of the packaging that comes out and doubles as a display piece, but I don't really do this with Transformers, so I'm not gonna start doing it with these outside of just showing you the stuff. And I'm gonna get this guy out of the plastic blister. Once it's outside its plastic blister, you got this end bit here it's keyed to do this a certain way, so we're going to go ahead and do this real quick. Got it aligned right, and just slide it in there all the way till you hear a little snap. Boom, there it is. This is kind of harder plastic, so be careful with this over time. And wow, this thing is really freaking awesome. Another big plus and bonus to this whole line of ships is that they have actual retractable landing gear, so you can set it down on your display. I wish it did come with the flight stand. I think they're talking about doing some of that, or you can also get flight stands. I'll put a link down in the description below there where you get your flight stands. This looks really amazing, and that's about as much as I want to ever do this. But every one of these comes with a little something like this, except for the little vehicles, the speeder bikes and that kind of thing. But that looks really awesome, and we'll go through the features of the ship here in a moment. First thing I want to do is crack this guy open and show you the height and the dimensions here. These Jazzware team people have really done a good job of getting all the little stuff right detail wise on these figures. Highly detailed, painted excellently, and since Wave 1 videos I've watched, these have just gotten better and better with time, and that little thing did pop off. I'll be doggone. So you got a little peg hole there in the back with that. I don't think the head articulates at all. This one's kind of a flimsier, kind of rubbery plastic, but It's like the arms are in sync and the legs are in sync, because mostly these will be sitting in the cockpit of the ships that they belong to. There's that there. Let's get the measurements real quick on Mando. And that jetpack looks awesome. I think it's called the Phoenix armor. Mando there is roughly 1 inch tall, and I'll probably take a little Sharpie ultra fine point and get his mask painted in better. But just for the sake of the review, there's the height and the width, plus the width with the backpack. So there we go, boom. Thanks again. And there he is on the turntable with the N1, and he just falls over really easily. This thing looks immaculate, guys. For some of us with storage of our collections, this is probably the better way to go. You can definitely get a lot more in a tiny space, or if you need a travel, component there to go with you places. I mean, this guy's probably going to go with me everywhere to go on the hunt for new stuff. The bounty is whatever it is that day or week. But anyway, a little geeky corniness there. Let's take a closer look at the details on this guy. And I love how everything is painted so nice, and he's got like some, looks like wear there. It's the old N1 yellow colors there. You see a little bit there on the back end going back. The details, that is the thing about these Micro Squadron Galaxy. They just beautifully detailed, and retractable landing gear. So when you're wanting to swoosh it around the house or just have a little bit of fun, you can do that even still, and it looks simply amazing. There's a front profile. Now that's what I call pod racing, and this thing is slick and fast in the show, and this thing does not disappoint. He's got an opening cockpit that you can pry open there. Just be careful not to go bust the clear plastic, and Mando will fit in there just like so. And I didn't think I was going to be able to get him in there with his backpack on, and very tight space, but it is the N1 after all, looking really fantabulous. And then we got Grogu in there doing his thing. Thankfully this is not a separate piece, because that would just be that'd be lost in no time whatsoever. Looks really good, guys. Some more yellow detailing on the back there, going all the way back to the tip back. And I love that they took the N1 and give it some new life in the new series there. And you do got spots for, I thought you did, maybe this is just a torpedo bay. I think that's what that is, and I thought these had something to do with that too. But anyway, thought they had like some places for a flight stand, but I think that the first person that does is going to make a good flight stand. There'll be a lot of happy Micro Galaxy Squadron collectors. But there it is from the front again with Mando in the cockpit. Just looking fantabulous. On some final thoughts, guys. Some final thoughts on the N1 Starfighter. This is a must-have for anybody that's a fan of the show that is collecting the Micro Galaxy Squadron ships and figures. This is just really awesome. The only con that I have, like, overall is the size of the stuff being so small with the figures. I'm so glad they did Grogu this way, and they got a speeder bike that has Grogu in a little pouch and stuff that's already pre-molded to it. So there's ways around stuff that are so tiny they get lost. I opened a Yoda Starfighter, didn't do the review because I lost the Yoda right off pack. So there's the pretense and cautionary tale that I can give you, is just be careful when opening these things so you don't lose the bits and pieces, because once they drop, they're pretty much gone. But other than that, if you're into that kind of thing, you like the micro machines and all that jazz, Jazzwares is jazzing it up with the Star Wars vehicles. I think I'm way better. These things look amazing. Got a hold of the Walker in the last couple of weeks, and I'm getting ready to get it out on the turntable and review it. It's probably one of the bigger pieces that they've gotten out to date. Unless there's something bigger, just comment down below if there's something bigger than the Walker at this point, but I think it's the biggest, and one I'm highly looking forward to. I couldn't resist it when I saw it on the shelf, just like I saw this the other night. Thanks again to Siege. Thank you for all the hard work that you do there at your store, and thanks again to those guys in the league. I mean, without them I wouldn't be able to get a hold of some of this stuff, and I'm very thankful for everybody that is part of that. Thanks again for watching this quick review of the N1 Starfighter. There'll be some more coming down the pipe. Hopefully I'll get things better put together, but make sure to like, share, subscribe. All the stuff down below in the description there. Y'all have an excellent, safe week out there, and may the force be with you always.